Hello. Well, today I'm going to talk about a franchise everybody knows. Okay, not everybody, but your grandma knows him. I know him. Spyro. The Spyro franchise is, it had some things happen to it. But am I talking about the classic trilogy? Am I talking about how something ruined something? No. I'm actually doing something that's really different this time. I'm talking about how the classic formula isn't that good. You see, Spyro's classic formula works sometimes. No, okay, not sometimes, but it works when Insomniac did it. That's probably what I'm gonna say, and it also works in the two Game Boy games, Season of Flame, not Season of Ice, and Rhinox Attacks, but it works in Hero's Tale, but the mini games just kind of ruined it for me. Yeah, I wasn't really a big fan of Hero's Tale, but I'm talking about the flaws in the original Spyro. The original Spyro isn't the greatest game ever made. The game has flaws, alright. Heck, I played it, and the controls... Okay, let me explain the controls. Imagine if you were playing Sonic, he went slower. You know what Sonic backs up? That's like playing Live Spyro. Okay, it's not that bad, but I'm happy for what the controls are, but you'd be surprised about how many times Spyro just touched something and fell. Yeah, you're not always gonna land. And the thing is, with a lack of a stop gliding button, or just make it stop gliding, it's hard to remove her when gliding. It's so hard to control. But I'm talking about something else. Does the classic formula really work? Thing is, I've been thinking about the Spyro fan base, and they suck. Thing is, Spyro kind of works because, well, Spyro works. Damn, I'm gonna need some more tea. The thing is with Spyro, there's just so many worlds to go through, so many collectibles, I guess, and like just the fun of going through worlds, getting orbs and stuff. But does Spyro's level design really get good? Thing is, I believe the level design is kind of odd. Look at the first Spyro. The first game. This is gonna give me a lot of bad comments. But the first game, it's like you're a dragon. But there's no mini games or anything to keep the levels. The levels, heck, you don't even have to get in the end of the level. You can literally just exit out of the screen. It's not that hard. Heck, I've done that for so many. Only ones you really have to finish are the Nasty Nork levels. And, the boss fights, I'm gonna be honest, there's some boss fights I didn't even play. And I beat the game. And don't even get me started. The levels feel... How do I say it? Not that much like it just doesn't feel that finished. But the game isn't bad. No, okay, the game feels finished, but the levels feel bland sometimes. And you can literally get through a lot of obstacles that easily sometimes. Okay, not all the time, but sometimes. But the thing is, are the levels bad? No. But I never really find that much replaying some levels in Spyro. Sometimes I feel like I can have fun replaying the levels, but just doesn't feel like it's gonna be that fun. And, well, after the third game, Spyro went down a path, alright. Season of Ice came out, but Season of Ice isn't really a bad game, just a boring game. you're not really having that much fun. And the controls, I guess you could say they kind of, but they aren't that bad. I mean, if you could play it on like the GameCube, and you'd probably have an easier time. But does it work? Yes and no. It reminds me of this first Spyro game. The level design works and doesn't. The level design feels kind of bland at times. But it's still fun, right? Yeah. But most of the fun comes from trying to get through the game. But it's looked as flawless classic, which it has so many flaws wrong with it. I loved it still. I still love the game though. But I had a lot of issues with the game last time I played it. I mean, not that many, but I had fun. But it's not a flawless classic. This is where I get to my part. After every Spyro game, one last classic came. Hero's Tale and Shadow Legacy. Shadow Legacy is interesting because it feels like it started something new. Spyro was going to do something different, alright. Something he was gonna be an action series. It was good. Oh, that has to happen, great. My computer is having a... Hey, it's not my fault, it's just the computer this time. But... what was this action series? The Legend of Spyro. Probably, not gonna lie, one of my two favorite Spyro games are The Legend of Spyro. A New Beginning is my favorite Spyro game. Yeah, you heard me right, left, up, and down. Those games worked. And yes, they weren't like Spyro, but the thing that gets me really mad about how Spyro's been is the fans. The fans suck. Thing is, if they don't get their way, they'll literally... I read an interview where the fans literally give death threats to somebody because Spyro looks different. That's all I hear about these games. Spyro looks different. Ooh, what's this? Too many purple. What is this, an IGN review? Jesus Christ. What's wrong with the games? Oh, because Spyro's different? Oh, because... what? The franchise changes? I get it, kind of. People had it for childhood. But the thing is, you think there was changes before that got the Spyro fans pretty ticked. While reading about something, I heard that some people really hated that, and I mean, I'd be surprised if you don't hate the game in general. The Dragonfly had new breaths. Why is that a problem? What, a franchise changing is like such a big deal nowadays? What, do people just want to play the same game over and over? What, do you think I would even care? If I haven't even said a Mario Odyssey, Nintendo said, hey, let's just make another game where we punch bricks for the 5th time. Wow, wouldn't that be great? Or 100 times, I don't even know anymore. I wouldn't even care about the game. I would just knock it off as just an average Mario game and move on. But Mario Odyssey did something different, which works, and I actually really want to play it. Do I want to say do you think the thing is, my fear is that people, when they make a new Spyro game, will they try to do too much like the old games? Thing is, reason Insomniac could do it so well is because, well, they were Insomniac. And yeah, Spyro 3 is still one of my favorite PlayStation games, don't get me wrong. Second favorite PlayStation game. And I love it. But if the Spyro fanbase just keeps knocking off every other game that least could do it well. Like, look at Rhinox Attacks. The game actually did it pretty well at one point. And no, I haven't played too much of it, but it worked. Heck, Season of Flame worked. I do not like Hero's Tale though. I always see people defend Hero's Tale and say that, oh well, they should have more went in this direction, but it wasn't fun to me. Because I was forced to play a minigame, where in the other Spyros, it was just optional. Why would I want to do something that I don't want to do? Why? Because it's classic Spyro and, like, it's better than Legend games because, it's not different. Because it's the same franchise. Like, yeah, it did still have the new breath thing, and I'm happy for that. Why do I want to play the same game where I have the same breath, same abilities, learn nothing new, because a bunch of nostalgic fanboys can't take that it's something different? Oh, well, this isn't the same. Just shut up, man, okay? You don't even know how to make the series. If you ran the series, it would just be the same amount of games over... not same amount, but same type of games over and over. Why would I want to play the classic format again, huh? What? Because it's what I have a memory of, my nostalgia. I remember when I played Spyro as a kid. It worked that way. No, it didn't. Yeah, it did, but... Okay, look. I love Spyro PS1. Heck, they're kind of the best Spyro games that come out. I could still like Spyro 3 a little more, but I'm still debating over that. But... both New Beginning and Spyro 3 are probably both good to me. Thing is, the games are made by Chrome. Tasmanian Tiger, which are good developers. Not the best developers, but the good ones. Yet, when people that don't have any nostalgia for a game, they give it a good review, and then when I see someone that has so much nostalgia for the games, and then just gives it a 4 out of 10, and then goes through the review telling how it's fun, but it deserves a 4 out of 10. You don't probably know what I'm talking about, and I don't want to point fingers at anybody, so I'm not gonna say anything that much. But really, why is this franchise? Why should Spyro change when it could just be the same game over and over? That's why you don't have to listen to nostalgic fanboys. Look, Sonic should stay 2D, I actually agree. But if it was just classic Sonic all the time, it would get tedious and boring. Oh, speaking of tedious, reason why I love the Legend of Spyro games is because they were fun platformers. Yes, the combat in the first game is just smashing the B button, but there was more than that. There were breath abilities. You could use your breath abilities. The breath abilities were pretty cool and fun. There was RPG mechanics in it. It was fun. And the art style, I liked it. And no, I actually do like Spyro's face, because I don't have any nostalgia for the first games at all. Heck, I remember one time, if I haven't even played those Legend of Spyro games, I would probably just knock this franchise right off. I wouldn't... Spyro 3 does it right. Spyro 3 does it really good. It's kind of like in the first game where you got the dragons, but better. And yeah, you don't get to hear all these things they say or something like that. But, well, mostly because you're saving children. But thing is, in Spyro 1, it did that thing really well with the dragons. It was done really well. You can still go back in the game, find some levels, go hear some of those dragon voice actors. They're fun. But the second game, I wasn't a big fan of. Just wasn't. The orb thing, I liked it. Kind of. No, I didn't. Yes, I did. It sucked. Kind of just sucked like my butt. Anyway, Spyro 2 fixed that formula. The first game kind of did. It made its own formula, but it fixed what the first game had wrong with it. bland levels felt bland. Spyro 2 levels felt good. But Spyro 2 also has its own issues. You see, it's not that hard to get out of bounds in the game. The game is kind of unfinished, I heard. But it gets so defended, though. Why is that defended when the Legend games are perfectly made, but they're not defended because Spyro looks different? Oh no. If there's something wrong with a game, don't try to sugarcoat it, okay? Say that's bad design. I mean, it's not a bad game, and it isn't that hard. It isn't that easy to do it, but it can happen in the game. So, yeah. But the thing is, the Legend of Spyro games, if a game is fun and okay, perfect, and there's nothing really bad with it, don't start giving it bad reviews and giving people the wrong message just because Spyro's face doesn't look the same. I'm sorry your nostalgia has to blind you so much that you can't know when a good game comes out. Oh, and one more thing. About that opinion. Well, I love Skylanders. Yes, I like Skylanders. And I want Spyro to have a new game. But the classic formula, I had a realization. Works in Skylanders. Did I just drop the ball harder than anyone at this time? Oh boy. The thing is, this could work as a formula. Take out the toys, keep Spyro as only character, give him a classic makeover, make enemies that can be killed by fire and some that can be killed by ram, and get the same level design, use keys and everything, and I think I'd be okay with a classic Spyro for good. Keep the same engine. The engine and the ideal works. And yes, I would love to see a Spyro game, but if it's a classic game that I think is boring and has too many mini-games that are forced to play, yet people like it because it's classic, I'm going to be really unhappy, and I want to see a Spyro remaster, but I'd rather just have Spyro 3 remastered and Dawn of the Dragon. Yeah, just those two. And Spyro 2, I guess. I mean, we aren't going to have a Legend remastered because fanboys, but it's just sad to see the Legend series get treated like trash when it does something right and does it really well, and then have a stupid bunch of fucking idiotic fans go, well, it's not like my original classic game. I don't fucking care. I mean, I don't care that it's not like the classic games. The classic games work because Asamiak did it. And sometimes they don't even work that well. If you aren't talking about Spyro 3, which done it the best way, Spyro 2 did it okay. Spyro 1 did it awfully at times. Heck, Spyro 1 can be kind of bad at times, in my personal opinion. But it's mostly only 2%. That's going to still piss people off, isn't it? But it's mostly a good game. It's what people... I think it's aged bad. It's what people think about Sonic Adventure. I love the game, and I know it aged bad, but I still enjoy it and think it's fun, so I don't care that it aged bad. I think it's fun. I don't care. Does a game have to have the best graphics to be fun? Does it have to have a presentation to be fun? Is it about how good a game looks over how fun it is? Because it doesn't matter. Just because Sonic Adventure might have a bad presentation, does that have anything to do with the gameplay? Hell no. It has something to do with the cutscenes and the presentation. It has a okay presentation, I guess you could say. Actually, pretty bad presentation, I'm gonna be honest. But has fun gameplay, which keeps it fun and enjoyable. Man, I got too mad on this one. But the thing is, I love Sonic Adventure, and I still think it's the best Sonic game. But I don't hate it because of the cutscenes. I hate it when I have to play as Big the Cat. Yeah, that is probably when I do hate it. I mean, like, I hate playing as Big the Cat. I'm gonna be honest here. But Amy is okay playing as. Knuckles, I could be honest. My problem with Sonic Adventure 2 is that you have to play as Knuckles. I mean, if it was just like Eggman, Tails, and Sonic and Shadow, I probably would love the game a lot more. But the Knuckles stages just suck. How does anyone enjoy these? I mean, I get it a little bit. The thing is, they could have done something like Sonic 3D Blast, which I think the Sonic formula would work. I'm gonna get a bit away on Sonic now. Thing is, look at the ukulele. We could have something like that where Sonic has to get 4 collectibles, get abilities, and all have to still go through running obstacles and be able to go through loop-de-loops. Something like how Sonic 3D Blast did, but a lot better, with more loop-de-loops and more on based on your speed and smartness. Be like you could get something and have it on this big ramp. But we're talking about Spyro. So, my idea for Spyro is that, give him different breath abilities. I think breath abilities could really change stuff up. And it would work. And the thing I want to say is that no matter what happens to this dragon, I will always love him in my heart. Spyro might not have my favorite changes. I mean, like, I really do want to see the Legend of Spyro series come back, but we're gonna have to wait another day. And the formula really did work. The thing is, the Legend of Spyro formula worked so well, is why I loved it. It's such a good ideal for a formula, but it gets crapped on from a bunch of fanboys, and I'm sick of it. And that's what I think Spyro has gone wrong. His fanboys. Stop giving death threats to developers. I get that people want Spyro back, and yeah, I'm happy that Crash is making Spyro come back, but telling people they have bad taste in games because Spyro is dumb.